Hey guys, this is Jimmy from James's Hobby Zone, and that was Devil Dogs by Sabaton. Now, alright, so this is my 1982 Revell Sydney Hawker Harrier jump jet. When I got the kit, I actually got the kit free of charge. Gentleman was throwing stuff out, and this kit was among the two kits that he was throwing out. One was just badly damaged from a fire. This one, the only thing that was damaged was the decals. Everything else was in mint condition, so it was really good. Gentleman gave me it, gave me the kit. I decided to replicate a Harrier jump jet that was in a squadron that my manager from Business Aircraft Center, Scott Russo, who was a United States Marine Corps ordnanceman on the Harrier jets. So the squadron that he dealt with was the VMA 542, the Tigers. All right. So now these decals that I gotten were from a trumpeter kit. So it's a little bit of a mixture. What I did here is the same thing as I always do. Vallejo black primer, Vallejo black primer. We have the Vallejo gunship gray with a Vallejo German green. Actually, it's like an olive drab green. And then obviously the Vallejo yellow, Vallejo black. After painting all that, doing the paints, doing the camo scheme on it, masking it, everything, roughly took about, I'm going to say, roughly about 2 months to finish this whole entire model. It's just little by little I messed around with it. There are some stuff, but I mean it could be easily fixed by a professional modeler. I mean, I'm not a super professional modeler. I am a pretty good modeler. I just can't. There are some stuff that I mess up. But they give you the option of having this hatch open that exposes the engines. This is actually a 1/32 scale, so it's a pretty big jet. They also give you the option to have the exhaust nacelles rotate back and forth. They give you two different style landing gear. The one gear for it to be pulled up into the flight mode, and then obviously there. Now, if you're going to do it that way, to have the gear like that, to have it properly touching the ground for both wings, it's going to be a little tricky, because you're going to have to actually do a little bit of tinkering, as you can say, or making stuff as you can. This is pretty much all. This right here is all modified. This is pieces to another landing gear that comes with the gear. Same thing, you know, and then you have to just trim it. Keep trimming it until it's able to touch the ground. Now, the one little mistake I made here with putting that on there is it ended up actually lifting up the right. Well, maybe not. Maybe it fixed itself, but it lifted up the rear gear. So the rear gear was lifting off the floor before the counter before. After that, what I did with that, you know, I did that little bit of scratch build. That's the word I was looking for. I can't believe I brain farted on that. Doing a little bit of scratch building with the landing gear. All right. Then after that, like I said, the decals were all put on with what solution did I use? Microset, then Microsol, so the decals will stick to the paint a lot better. Then after that, before I did the decals, obviously I clear coated it 2 times bottom and top. I did not have these installed before I did the bottom decals. You have to make sure that these are not installed, because if you install these, you will not be able to get the Marines decal and the star and stripes on the bottom of these wings. I'll show you in 1 minute when I go to flip it over. Then after that, as soon as the decals were installed, clear coated it 2 more times, and then matte finished it. After I matte finished it, I installed the landing gear, I installed the rocket pods, and the drop tanks, extended drop tanks, fuel tanks. The inside for the cockpit is a little bit of a challenge because they give you a decal for that. With the original stuff, the decals really weren't really good. They were badly damaged from water damage, so I knew that they were bad. So that's why I went on a hunt. It took me a month and a half to find these decals in 1/32 scale and in the 542. They also come with Baba Black Sheep. It's all the Flying Leatherneck series. So then what I did after that is, you can't really see it too well on the inside. Maybe maybe no, you can't really see it too well. And I already got the canopy glued down. But inside where the instrument panel is basically, I just used paint and kind of made it look like there was some some instruments there, some switches there, and everything. So that was that. Now this is the older one. This is not the AV-8B. This is the first one. This is the one that the British gave the Marine Corps. Differences is radome is completely different. The radome, a lot of the antennas are not installed. Pretty much they don't carry the rocket pods anymore. It's more of missiles and everything, and they're a little bit shorter, just a hair. No, actually, I'm sorry, I take it back. They're a little bit longer. I do apologize for that. They are a little longer than they were before. Now, when I pick up the model, I'll show you guys at the bottom. So, yeah. So, see what I mean? You have to make sure. Let me see if I get it in the light. You have to make sure you do not install the ordnance and the external tanks before you put on those Marine Corps decals, or you will not get them on. Same thing, see? It's a little bit hard to get in between those two. All right. After I obviously did all the decaling and everything, and doing all the matte finish, I ended up weathering up the tires. Got them a little bit dirty. You can't really see them too well, but they're a little dirty. The exhaust are burnt as always, and a lot of Marine Corps aircraft that are sitting on carriers, they are actually pretty dirty in the back when they take off. So, and normal routine, from what I learned from friends, co-workers, and everything, that the Marine Corps has a strict policy that if the aircraft is helicopters, landing crafts, tanks, anything on an aircraft carrier or a large landing craft, amphibious landing craft, they have to be washed once a week. If they're on land, every 2 weeks they get washed. The Marine Corps makes sure that their aircraft are in tip-top shape and very clean. Some other, I don't know how the Air Force does it. I don't know how the Navy does it until I start researching and getting that far. Also, what I did is I did a little bit of chipping effect on the aircraft, on the wings, a little bit on the tank, a little bit over where the intakes are. I did a little bit of chipping, even on a little bit of the nose. I did a little bit of chipping there. Now, if you look really carefully, obviously it looks like I did a little polka dot thing. I've seen there is a picture online of a Marine walking across the wings of the Harrier. So what I did is I made a little bit of chipping going across the top where they would walk across. That after a while the paint would eventually wear out where they were walking. That's pretty much it. I had a blast building it. It was interesting to build something that was 1/32nd scale. There are some hiccups a little bit, like right here, you need to fill that in, but I realize you don't need to fill it in because this whole entire piece rotates back and forth. I mean, overall the build was great. The only thing I have to finish on this one is the navigation light that has to be painted green. I just picked up the clear green today from Tamiya, from the hobby shop that is now open. Yeah, I could actually walk into it. I just need to wear a mask. That's it. But that's that. That's okay. I don't mind wearing a mask. I mean, hey, it keeps me from not getting sick, so that's all I care about. So, all right, guys, this is the end of this. The end of the review, the finished review of the Harrier jump jet of the United States Marine Corps, VMA 542, the Tigers. All right, I'm going to finish playing the last song for you guys.